In the early hours of April the 15th, 1912, Titanic's senior officers gathered in a ship's cabin and each was handed a gun. What happened next has never been properly investigated until now.
When the Titanic set off on her maiden voyage from Southampton on April the 10th, 1912, most of the crew came from around these parts. When the ship sank 5 days later, the 1,500 people who were lost, 549, came from right here in Southampton. But I'm interested in one man in particular who survived. That was Second Officer Lightoller, and he was my great-uncle.
Lightoller's own book, Titanic and Other Ships, which is rare.
And he lived in the first house right here, right near the station, here at Netley. I reckon it should be somewhere here.
In fact, who really were these senior officers? And have they ever been accurately portrayed?
Captain Smith.
Was Captain Smith really going to retire after the maiden voyage?
Here we've got the cup, presented to Captain Smith for 25 years' service.
Was he really completely to blame for the disaster?
Doesn't look like Captain Smith's house as I imagined it. The captain of the ship lived here.
What eventually happened to him and Chief Officer Wilde?
Well, Titanic's officers were nothing short of heroic. For instance, First Officer William Murdoch launched 9 lifeboats in half an hour. That's an average of 1 every 6 minutes.
This is actually where the first officer lived. And again, of course, there have been many, many films about the Titanic tragedy.
But on the 100th anniversary of Titanic's sinking, we are going back to original sources, meeting relatives of survivors and expert historians to discover the true story behind the men who were in control of Titanic.
He survived, but later committed suicide. This monument is to the engineers.
There are certain mysteries that no forensic investigation is ever going to solve.
Follow me as I finally uncover the truth about her officers.
If I had a gun, I'd put a shell into them.
There were guns about.
Ask Mr. Wilde where the arms and ammunition are kept.
Horror stories of steerage passengers were held off from the boats by people wielding guns.
Don't offend anyone in first class by blowing their brains out.
Several of the officers used their guns.
What about the Murdoch shooting?
I'm not going to comment on camera about that. I think that's the end of the interview. Okay?
One of the officers shoots one of the passengers.
I'm not making any comment. Go!
An officer committed suicide.
Titanic's officers investigated